Way back whenever I started this podcast, I reached out to a handful of existing podcasts and YouTube channels, trying to kind of understand what everybody was doing and kind of planting the seed that I was eventually going to want to talk to them on episode whenever I felt comfortable doing interviews. And fast forward to 4 years later, one of those groups has been dodging me for a little while. But you know, they've been pretty busy, right? They started up a YouTube channel, became one of the most popular YouTube channels, then started up their own brand, and then started selling those bottles. And so I wanted to talk through one of their releases, and I had a friend from Michigan that was thankfully helpful enough to be able to get this to me so I could have an opportunity to try this. So we're going to talk about the Essence Rye. It's a single barrel, so that's tough to talk about. But you know, any one of these I think are pretty easy to say you should buy them, right? The guys at the Bourbon Junkies have pretty phenomenal palates, and they've put together a really solid brand. The distillery on this, Evernorth is the brand. It's a rye, probably from Maryland. You can take your guesses as to where it's from. I think it's Sagamore. Who'd have said that? Age on it, it's about 7 years, and proof is $130. Their single barrels always sell through, but let's talk about what's actually in there. What did Dan and Sean put together, as well as the other folks that are involved in the brand. It's not just two guys at this point. It's a whole host of people. But we do 3 different tastings, 3 different days, 3 different sets of glassware with the intent to try to remove some environmental bias if possible. The nose, the first time through, I spilled some on my hand, and when I was pouring it, and it absolutely smelled like Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper was my favorite soft drinks, and it doesn't. Dr. Pepper is its own flavor. Like when they created it to smell and taste like a soda shop back in the, I don't know, whenever soda was in a shop. So it's not like one unique flavor. It's just really, really interesting. The palate on it was cola, and it went immediate dry and had some tea bitterness to it. And I assume that is a proof/age situation. And the finish on it was a strong chili oil type of a spice build. And then behind that, I got some mint and some wood. The second time through, the nose on it was maple syrup on a pancake, but if that was a soda. The palate was a little bit of cherry syrup, a little bit of lemon, and then that time through, I wasn't really paying attention to the proof on it. So when my brain said, this is 130 proof, right? So it's going to be dry with a lot of barrel char influence, but I wasn't super close paying attention whenever I drank it that second time through. The third time through, the nose was sweet and salty, with a little bit of a gumminess from like a taffy. And then the palate, I got some traditional licorice like you might often get from a rye, dark syrup. Some spice, some sweet tobacco leaf, and then the finish gave me some solid barrel tannins and some dark cherry, and then the spice built tremendously. These guys are doing an awesome job. If you got an opportunity to try their stuff, you should.